Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. Today is June the 7th. I'm excited to be with you this morning. I hope you're doing good. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation. This is our H.O.D Recovery Services, and you can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I noticed this weekend I did not get one single email. Not one single email. People are enjoying this fine weather. So I look forward to doing the Just for Today in a meditation with you for June 7th. I'm going to be adding some other well-known meditations to the selection. So just stay tuned for that. I need to figure out what works best for me when I do those particular ones. And I'm sure you will enjoy them. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Someone who believes in me. June 7th. Just for today, I will have faith in someone NNA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Basic text page 100. Oh, I am smiling. You can't see me, but I am definitely smiling. That is one of my most beautiful, well-liked quotes that we have from our basic text, that we need to find someone who has faith in us and who believes in us, wants to help us in our recovery. Let's see what the meditation says. Not all of us arrive in a automatically stay clean. But if we keep coming back, we find in Narcotics Anonymous the support we need for our recovery. Staying clean is easier when we have someone who believes in us, even when we don't believe in ourselves. Even the most frequent relapser, NNA, usually has one staunch supporter who is always there, no matter what. It is imperative that we find that one person or a group of people who believes in us. When we ask them if we will ever get clean, they will always reply, yes, you can and you will. Just keep coming back. We all need someone who believes in us, especially when we can't believe in ourselves. When we relapse, we undermine our already shattered self-confidence, sometimes so badly that we begin to feel utterly hopeless. At such times, we need the support of our loyal NA friends. They tell us that this can be our last relapse. They know from experience that if we keep coming to meetings, we will eventually get clean and stay clean. It's hard for many of us to believe in ourselves, but when someone loves us unconditionally, offering support no matter how many times we've relapsed, recovery in NA becomes a little more real for us. Just for today, I will find someone who believes in me. I will believe in them. That's a beautiful just for today meditation. I think that the thought that came to my mind is, some conversations that I've had with individuals in recovery. And I'll say, wow, man, that is a lot to go through by yourself. I mean, I'm not condoning using, but I see why you use. That's a lot on your shoulders there. That is a lot. And I said, how did you get through it? I mean, I don't, how did you come out of that? And sometimes they'll say to me, it had to be God, because it wasn't nobody else, no one else. It had to be God. And then there's other situations where the person going through a very similar circumstance doesn't relapse, doesn't use at all. And they talk to me and I'm like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot to go through. How did you ever survive that? How did you get through that? I stayed in touch with my sponsor. I kept making meetings. I kept calling people, letting them know how I was feeling, how bad I was feeling. It's like you use the fellowship to get you through that. Yes, and God. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference in the ability or strength a person experiences when we rely on God and then we rely on the people that God uses to help us. We say all the time around here that no man is an island. Self-sufficiency is a lie. The people that go at it by themselves and they're just, don't want to be connected to anyone, they usually feel the weight of that. There's usually a consequence for that self-sufficient disposition, right? Now, I'm not saying lean on people and depend on people, but I am saying finding one person that believes in you and wants to help you in your recovery, it's not going to be that hard to do. You know who I have found? And I won't even say like my sponsor, right? But besides my sponsor, the people that I have found to be there for me at a time of need, when I didn't, I'm talking about when I don't believe in myself. Because usually when I don't believe in myself, I don't turn towards people that don't believe in themselves, right? I turn towards people that I have watched over the years that have accomplished some of the very same things that I'm trying to accomplish. And I tell them, this is what I'm going through, right? And they're able to redirect me and remind me of all of the other things that I have accomplished. So why would this one thing be any different than those other things? All you got to do is show up every day, put one foot in front of the other, and watch how God meets you in that moment. Those tracks that I talked about last week. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you or challenge you today to look at your network. Look at the group of people that you have access to. Hold on just a second. Thank you. I want you to look at a group of people that you have access to, and I want you to determine of those group of people, who are the ones that have faith in me? That I'm not saying you want people that sugarcoat stuff, but you want people that have the ability to hear you out and also interject in a manner that is effective for you. Because a lot of times our heart is not always receptive to others interjecting or giving us positive or even negative feedback, right? Our heart is not always receptive. We just kind of still have that attitude of being takers. We just want someone to listen to us, and we don't have the ability to take a breath, take a pause, and definitely not the spirit of humility where we can actually allow that other person that has spent all this time listening to us to actually speak and tell us what they're sensing or what they're feeling. It's time for us to stop wearing our feelings on our sleeves. It's time for us to move into more authentic type relationships, right? We need authenticity. And to be authentic means that the relationship, and especially with sponsorship, is a two-way street. Some sponsees abuse that, right? They see it as my sponsor need to call me. I'm not always going to be calling my sponsor. Well, I beg to differ. If we're talking about working some steps, this is your responsibility. And it's your responsibility to reach out and try to get that going for you. Your sponsor is not going to say, you ready to do step one? No, you say you're ready to do step one. And then your sponsors say, go ahead and do it. Let me know when you're done. I'm available on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sunday afternoons, right? They will let you know their schedule. And then you work with that. A sponsor is not someone that is just hanging, on a chain that we can jerk anytime that we want. This is a human being that we've invited into our lives to give us input in regards to recovery, the 12 steps. That's why we're engaged with them, right? They have a working knowledge of the 12 steps and the spiritual principles thereof, right? And the traditions. And so that should be the foundation. That should be the main thing our relationship is built upon. And if you're not humble enough to receive feedback, then you might not be ready for that type of relationship. You might want to keep that sponsorship relationship in your back pocket and ready to pull out when you're ready to do the work, right? That doesn't mean not to be in touch with them. I'm just saying that the sponsor doesn't owe you anything other than to do what they agreed to do, and that's to be there for you and work with you through those steps. A good question a sponsor should always ask is, what step is that? This situation, what steps can you actually apply to this? Because a lot of times your sponsee may not know. They just know that these emotions have gone array and I need to reel them in before I end up using. Okay. So today, my challenge is real basic. Look at your network of people that you have access to that don't run when they see you coming, right? Look at that network of individuals and see of those individuals, who is it that you can draw in closer, that you know has faith in you and wants to help you in your recovery, that will love you unconditionally. Maybe you've watched them work with other people. You need that person as a friend. And you need to be a friend to that person, right? Today, people are going through so many crises. The gas in our area hit $5.19. That means that a person is going to be paying just to get to work. Just say if the average pay is $15 an hour, which is quite low, but just say the average pay is $15 an hour before taxes. So after taxes, they're walking away with about $13.25, $13.50 at the most, right? $13.50, and you divide that in half, right? So $6.50. A person is paying almost 50% of what their take-home pay is per hour just to get to work. Now, that's not every day, because a gallon of gas can go a long way, but it can't go 2 days worth of travel. A gallon of gas can get you to work and can get you home in the city. And God forbid if you have to drive further than just in town 10 miles and back 10 miles. The average gas tank within the city will get you anywhere from 15 to 21 miles. That's in the city drive, right? The average gas tank. So you're not going very far on a gallon of gas. You're not going very far. You're getting a round trip. So every day, every person that drives a vehicle to and from work is paying at least 1/3 of an hour's wage to be able to do that. Every day, you have to cough up $5.20 in your gas tank to get to and from work, right? So at the end of the week of a 5-day week, this person is paying, say $25, $26 just in gas, just in gas. Every month, this person is paying or like 54. I'm gonna say 54, 26 and 26, right? You guys do the math. I'm not really on top of it, but you can get the point, right? You can get the point that every week, if a person is paying $26 a week to get to and from work, and some people pay way more, and I'm saying this is just gas that is dedicated at $5.20, right? So every month, $104 has to go out just for gas for getting to and from work. That has absolutely nothing to do with all of the other stuff the person has to travel around into. These are very difficult times. Inflation is very high. Walmart and Sam's are in the same family. If you go to Walmart to buy milk, you're almost paying $4. Whereas if you go to Sam's, you're paying a little over $3 for a gallon of milk. Everything is more expensive than it has ever been. The smart vendor is the one that reduces their prices, because then people will flock in droves and you will have more than enough money to keep replenishing. Because at the end of the day, they're still not paying that high of a price. You're still paying 100 times more than what they're paying to get that product, right? So I'm finding that individuals are really suffering. They're really, really suffering, really suffering. And because of that suffering, their ability or the fiber of their recovery is changing, because everything that they depended on, everything that they were comfortable with is now starting to change. Shut off notices, evictions, court notices because they're not able to pay certain bills. So things are changing and people are changing. You have to find a way to cope in this day and age in a way that catapults you further. Unfortunately, it is about the survival of the fittest right now. I'm not saying to not help people, but to be very much aware that it is about survival of the fittest. You have to have a plan so that you and your family can survive. One of the things my family loves, we love grapes, and we have a beautiful grapevine. And I'm looking forward to those grapes because they have a lot of water in them and they're very tasty and they're a delicious treat when buying candy and all this other junk food is not an option because of finances and it's not healthy. But there's going to be things in my refrigerator that are organic and tasty that my family will enjoy. Consider, if you will, consider getting a few seeds in a raised garden bed or just a section in your garden to raise some of the vegetables that you love to eat. You may not think it's going to save you money, but if you learn how to grow your own vegetables, grow your own food, and how to store them in a manner that you can use at a later date, you'll feel so great about that. These are times where we have to also, as the reading said, believe in the people that believe in us, but find someone that believes in us. And we have to have that relationship, authentic relationships. So I hope that was helpful for you today. I hope that, I think I went on a rabbit trail about growing food, but it's important that we're mentally healthy, that we're whole in every way. And the more that you can do to provide in times of difficulty and not be worried about finances, the better off you will be, right? Maybe start a community garden. Maybe get some of your friends in the community that you're cool with, right, in recovery, and everyone, obligate themselves to work in this garden in maybe one person's backyard that has room for a garden so that we all can benefit and eat. Potatoes are easy to grow on your own. Oh, I'm back on that tangent again. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm thinking about you guys. I do believe in you, and I hope that today will be a beautiful day for you. Talk to you tomorrow.